Hello, everyone. Oh, that's right. You didn't have any work today, did you? Or this week? Train ticket to Dallas. How much do train tickets cost? I was thinking about taking a train trip. Say Night Trap 21st Anniversary Edition. Here, let me grab the copy. I ordered a special copy from. I got it. From Limited Run Games. So it comes with this. I don't know if you'll be able to see it on that thing. It comes with a little collector card. Limited Run. They usually have those. This little ticket I've never used before. It's one ticket towards Limited Run Games loyalty rewards. You get one for every game that you come in. Let's get this going though. Everything should be updated. I have not loaded up the game yet. That's it. $50. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. And it has reversible cover art. I got no space here. So now it's originally like this, but you can flip it over, and you get the nice, that nice little Sega style there. Pretty cool. I'm gonna turn this down. I have not played this game ever before. Dookie gave me a little heads up of what it's about. You play one of the Corey kids. Shit. Never had a Sega CD, but I kind of want one. I want to get one, but I know it's impossible to get any good games off of it. Oh wait, hang on, I didn't get my Koopa in. Usually I'm the first one to put something in here. Koopa. Turn it off. Okay. Okay, I'm playing off the Pro controller. The original, revamped. The layout, 2017 layout, 1994, 1993, or 1992. I don't know what the difference is. Snatcher and Sonic CD for good game. Like I picked up a Dreamcast, but I can't find any games at a decent price. They're all pretty expensive. And there are a few. The whole reason why I picked it up is because I wanted to. Because there's quite a few like co-op games for it that I kind of wanted to check it out. I know I didn't even put. Oh yeah, because I tuned in on your stream pretty late, man. I was like, it's too late, man. Can't get that Koopa in. Okay, let's see here. Code change, reverse forward, move, pause. Trap and select. Okay, I don't know what that's gonna do, but let's just keep it how it is right here. He's gonna get a boner for sure. Oh, he's already got one. I don't know what any of this is, the basement or survivor. Basement. Watch all story related videos. 1995 documentary. Okay, so these are like extras. We'll check that out later. From the Office of Commander Sims. Due to the sensitive nature of this mission and the possible endangerment of other civilians, all SCAT personnel are under 24-hour mission assignment until this case is solved. The Martin assignment. The Martin house is being overrun by a large number of augurs. Your assignment is trap as many as you can. Operating procedures. The access code is changing due to system malfunction. At the start of each round, you will need to switch the access code indicator to the correct color in order to trap the augurs. We are slowly losing camera signal throughout the home. As you advance, your signal will increasingly drop. I always come in with one. Me too. We are slowly losing camera signal throughout the home as you advance. Oh, I can write that one. Missing too many augurs will result in breaking contact. Okay. So I gotta trap these dudes somehow, eh? How do I... Okay, it's red. How do I capture? Oops.
Orange.
What? I guess we should go to Dell's. You come prepared.
Red.
I don't know what I'm doing, man. Yes, you could be my personal scat. That's yellow. Bates, it says it right there. I don't know what to do. I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. Do I have to match it to that thing in the middle? I don't know what I did. Thanks, man. Nobody knows? Okay, well, I guess we'll figure it out. Okay, well, there's that green little flashing icon at the bottom, and I noticed it changing colors. Okay, so I gotta change it to red.
Purple.
Purple. Okay. I don't know what this game is, man. I don't know how to win. I'm somehow supposed to capture... You know what? Blue. You see, look at... I heard the word blue, but it sounded like it wasn't from a distance. Or, how's the game audio? Is it... Do I need to turn it up for you guys to hear better? Because I can hear him saying, like, purple, blue. I don't know. Where the hell's the naked chicks? Okay. But how do... Turn up a little bit. Will do. Let's try that. Hang on. I'm gonna... I'm guessing this is like an intro or something. Okay, I'm just going to quickly check this little thing, see if it's an instruction manual. 5 teenagers have disappeared in the vicinity of the Lakeshore Winery House. Okay. Hidden surveillance cameras. Okay, there's supposed to be a way to activate the traps. It doesn't tell you how to capture them. Okay, let's just try this out again. Okay. Turn this up a little bit. Oh fuck, I changed the channel. Shit.
Blue.
Oh, I pressed X. I got something going. Ooh.
Purple.
Okay. I guess you kind of have to know.
Breaking contact.
Yes, got one.
Blue.
Oh shit. Oh. Dead Jim.
Red.
Nope, didn't get that one.
Red.
Teenagers. How do I save this chick? Oh, she's grabbing her leg.
Purple.
I think I gotta wait for him to get to the closer. Yeah, you gotta know where to put the traps, I guess. So it's like, yeah, we got 6. Okay, well, we got that. I think we know how to play now. We did let those teenagers get caught, though. Let's start the game. Thanks for the follow, Oogle. Oogle? Oigle? Why do they walk like gorillas? Maybe they are gorillas. Night Trap. Dana Plato. I'm guessing these are the actors. Or if those are real names. They're just made up. Is he just murdering them? Yeah. That's what happens when the Borg lands on a planet without any machinery. The Borg.
Strangest thing I've ever seen. Listen up. The students that have been coming up the Wood River source on this side of the lake have been disappearing right now.
Local authorities
Ah.
tell our surveillance teams tapped into the winery house right there and taped everything you just saw.
What about the cameras and the traps?
I tried to turn it up a little bit more because it's pretty.
We suspect
It's really hard to hear on my
using
end.
the winery house as a cover, and they're getting anyone who stumbles onto their scheme, whatever that is.
This is Kelly. Kid. Come on, isn't she a little young?
She's young. She's one of our best.
She'll also be working inside. And remember, no one goes in until we get the signal from her.
I want to know more about these traps.
Yeah.
Scat.
That's one thing we've got going for us.
Super quiet.
One of our guys put an override on the camera cable unit here.
Yeah, it's pretty quiet on my end too. I'll try to turn it up.
Which means we have complete control of the cameras and the traps.
But who operates that?
They do.
And who's that?
I'm not exactly certain. Special operators from Control. But we gotta work together on this one. Any questions?
It's rock and roll.
Okay. Hopefully that
Be careful.
hopefully
out
that
there,
helps.
huh? And you keep your eyes open. We're all depending on you, especially Kelly.
Mustache
She'll be
Lewinsky.
there now.
Save
I'll
them
switch you over.
babes.
And good luck.
Thanks, bro. Oh, sweet Pepsi. Okay. Ooh, what do we have here? Getting scary, man. Oh, I'm finding this. audio's like way off. Come on. I don't know. I'm gonna let those little girls get captured. I know the voice is really low, but this music is super loud. Is it way too loud now? I don't know what the fuck. Where them girls?
How it can be, Tony. I was young once too, you know.
Let's watch this.
You are a very special boy. We both know that. But you must start doing your job. We all have to do our job.
I know.
Well, help your cousin with that.
Yeah, it's about time.
Sorry, it didn't dawn on me.
Yeah, I'll dawn on you if you don't get on the ball.
I'm sorry.
Oh, che cretini.
Okay, that's good. Let's follow them.
Well, we have to bottle the 2 downstairs. And Sarah's coming in with 6 more tonight.
6.
6 more
Yeah.
times.
The problem is Sheila and I might have to make a delivery.
That's no problem. Tony and I can handle it.
I'm not so sure.
These have to go too.
Whoa, 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 what's this? This is a special
Oh, there's some
vintage.
teenagers there too.
Jeffrey, don't be so selfish.
I
Think
turned
of
it down
the
already.
poor, starving augers.
Suzanne.
Guess I'll put it back up.
They're here.
Good. Come down.
What's the matter with you anyway?
I don't know. Bored, I guess.
Bored. Well, that's gonna change pretty soon, huh? I mean, we're on our own tonight.
Oh, see you, Senorita.
Hi. I was so afraid you decided not to come.
Oh, no way. I've been looking forward to this all week.
Sarah, this is beautiful by the lake. Really? It looks like a
There's a guy there, but there's chicks
Hi,
on this one.
Megan.
Guess I'll try it.
Get away.
He's gonna take a bite out of
Father, I want you to meet Cindy. Hi.
these guys. Maybe I can't get them yet?
Her little brother Danny. What's up? And Kelly. Nice to meet you, Mr. Martin.
Please, call me Victor.
Oh shit, we weren't supposed to do anything till she tells us, I
this
thought,
is
eh?
my wife, Sheila.
Hello. Come on, everyone. Let's go in the house.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Hey, Sarah. Who's that? That's Weird Eddie. He's just one of the neighbors. He's really cutened out.
Ah, fuck.
Enchanté.
What?
Tu parles français, toi?
Ladies night,
Oh,
baby.
no, thank you.
Pity.
This guy is really wigged out. Hey, Control, check out the house.
Ah, fuck, okay. I missed my chance again. Bam, bam, bam. I don't know which buttons I'm supposed to press.
Sarah.
Victor and I have to make a visit to the Augers tonight. A delivery, actually. I'm sure you and the boys can take care of everything here.
I understand. Good night, Father.
So let me know if you guys want me to do more,
Good night.
to creep on
night,
this family,
sir.
or if you want me to put more
Bye, girls.
tension on
Have fun.
the Borg.
Curious little bunch. What's wrong?
Well, there's something about Kelly.
Woman's intuition again, huh?
Victor, you monster. Come on, let's go. We don't want to upset the Augers.
Victor, you sex monster. Come on, let's go bang a cheap one out right away. Yeah. Maybe I'm only allowed to press it so many times. Oh, they're back. Okay, what we'll do is, you see the cameras there? The top one will start at 1, and then the bottom right one will be 8. So if you guys want me to switch over to a certain camera,
What could possibly go wrong?
just tell me which number I'll switch over to it. But actually, the stream lag might not help that. Come on. Got him. We got 2.
Music.
Ooh. 1 and 4. I'll pick 4. We're on 4 right now. It's not even a guitar in that song. Oh, I missed that. I see him going right there. Who's this guy? Guess he didn't do that. No. Some cheap kid eating cereal. Oh, what's going on here? How do I help him out? Oh, they captured one of my bros. I still don't know what these colors are for. I don't know what Rambo's doing. He got captured though in this game. Getting assimilated as we speak. Gotta find out where some of these sweet spots are. Just a bad day. Damn. No. They assimilated him.
We got problems.
And my gracious brother, Jeff.
I like how the video's super green.
We'll see if you can get it fixed. If not, we'll have to do it the old-fashioned way.
I could take all weekend. I got plans.
Yeah.
Come on, everyone. I'll show you.
Oh, I missed my chance.
Look, it was your job to protect Kelly and the rest of those girls. But from what I've just seen, the place is being overrun. You've missed way too many of those suckers. Now, until you figure out how to do your job and do it right, you're dismissed. Breaking contact.
Just wanted to stare at some teenagers. Well, we only got 2. Yeah, I'm guessing, yeah, it probably only works once. Okay, let's see. I guess we'll do this guy. I don't know what Y does. Can I trap them while they're... Okay. And I fired my ass. You know what? I'm just gonna quickly Google how to play. click the right mouse button. Okay, see here, the color above the possible captured count is the trap system access color. Like a key card, a few times during the game, the family will randomly change the color. This is the only way random part of the main game, as the rest is fully scripted. You have to change that bar with the left click to the color they say. Watch out for the times when there's a trap you have to set off before you change the color. Since the family hasn't left that room yet. This game sounds way more in-depth than I thought it was going to be. Okay, so we trap them when the little thing turns red. That's what kind of seems like that middle one turns red. The color code on the right is the lock of the trap system, so that's, I guess, what we were doing there. Okay, so the character tells us, I'm guessing that's what's her name, tells us what the code will be. So if you miss the cue, so I pretty much just boom, just cycle through them all. If I don't know. There we go. Okay, so we're supposed to watch the main character, I guess, and she'll tell us if something's changed.
Who's that? That's weird, Eddie.
I'll do that. I'll just cycle through the wall. Nope, missed it.
Tais-toi.
Oh, no, thank you.
Pity.
This guy is really wigged out.
Very much for letting us come up this weekend. It's very nice of you.
Our pleasure, Mom.
He's just stabbing. He's let this road down.
Guys, come on.
Oh, Sarah. Victor and I have to make a visit to the Augers tonight. A delivery, actually. I'm sure you and the boys can take care of everything here.
I understand. Good night, Father.
Good night, darling.
Okay, the family. Is it blue? Like, I'm gonna get the visual cues.
That's just the basement. Let's go see the boats.
No, missed my chance there.
Bye, Eddie. Nice of you to drop by, Eddie. Oh, and let us know when you want to die, Eddie.
You really get it.
You leaving them here alone?
Why not?
Well, do you think they can handle it?
Of course they can. What could possibly go wrong? Come on, darling. The augurs are waiting.
Right.
All I'm doing is cycling through all of them. So I the right one. They're supposed to give you like clues. Like you're supposed to watch them, and they tell you that they changed the code, and then you're supposed to cycle. Like the color is the code, so you're supposed to cycle to the appropriate one, and then that's what you can use. And then once that thing at the bottom there starts turning yellow or red, that's when you just use that code to capture. Oops. Let's watch Rambo. Let's watch Walmart Rambo. I missed one. That little red marker there is supposed to indicate that I missed somebody. That little red dot to the left. No, he just gets captured. See, this kid looks like he knows what he's suspecting something. He's kind of checking things out. Let's look at their laundry. I missed another one. Yes, he just way faster doing that.
What's this? We got problems.
And my gracious brother, Jeff.
I missed it. They don't give you much time to do anything else, though.
Look, it was your job to protect Kelly and the rest of those girls. But from what I've just seen, the place is being overrun. You've missed way too many of those suckers. Now, until you figure out how to do your job and do it right, you're dismissed. Breaking contact.
Damn. Gotta retry. Oh, let's just look at her weird dress. Oh, maybe that's the code, green. It didn't work. Damn it, I'm just missing all these guys. See, now that one was supposed to be blue. I don't know why it was supposed to be blue. Is it because the towels are blue? I don't know. Where'd everyone go? No, that one I missed. Holy shit, that was fast. No, you mean that little one right in the middle underneath the timer? That one's just to indicate when you can trap them. You trap it when it turns red. Yellow means it's getting close, and then green everything is hunky dory. So once it turns red, I should be able to capture. Doesn't give you much time though, like to creep on these people.
this? This is special vintage.
Oh, Jeffrey, don't be so selfish. Think of the poor, starving augurs.
Think of the poor, starving augurs.
Good.
We see the way they're at the cases.
What's the matter with you anyway? I don't know. Bored, I guess. Bored. Well, that's gonna change.
Oh, wait. Shit, she said something.
Hi. Hi.
I think I'm supposed to be
I was so
focusing way
afraid you
more on
decided not
her.
to come.
Ooh, we got Cleveland. Okay, where is she?
Hey. Lisa. Hi. Her little brother.
I understand. Red? How do you know? I think it was red. Okay, where's that, our operative?
No, thank you.
Pity.
I don't know. I missed the other guy. Sometimes they appear on the outside here, and I don't know when the best time for that is. Ooh, got lucky.
Bye, Eddie. Nice of you to drop by, Eddie. Oh, and let us know when you want to die, Eddie.
These guys are assholes here. Seems like you can only get them when it turns red. Yeah, I should. Well, that guy's just standing in the bushes as well. I know it's there, that's why I just started cycling through everything. I think what's supposed to happen is that one of the catalogs are supposed to be telling you the code. They got roasted. There's like just constantly shit going on. I don't know how you would. The only way you'd have to know is if you played the game a shitload of times and you know exactly what's gonna happen. One? Oh, right here. Dude, I always miss this one. The one's on the outside. Oh, I missed that one too. Shit. Fuck. I'm missing too many, I think.
Looks clear.
Jason. Come in, Jason.
This is Mike. Jason's inside. Clean up. He clicked off before I could respond. It sounded routine.
Collins, use decoy option and check it out.
Roger.
Mike, go around back and cover position 3. I want him out of that house.
Roger.
See, like some of those are like boom, they're like right there. This is the furthest we've gotten now.
Look, it was your job to protect Kelly and the rest of those girls. But from what I've just seen, the place is being overrun. You've missed way too many of those suckers. Now, until you figure out how to do your job and do it right, you're dismissed. Breaking contact.
Damn it. I know, just as I say it. I wonder how much. I don't know. Maybe got to stay over. Well over 50%. See, like her eyes turn. Are all super green for some reason. I think that was. I'm gonna stay on this one. Oh, fuck, the one on the top right. I don't know where to go. Like, even if there was only one button to press, it would still be a little difficult. Oh shit, my cheesecake. Hang on, I'll be right back. It's ready. I tried pressing green the last time, it didn't work. So I've just decided to cycle like one at the beginning there, that same dude I trapped. I tried using the green because of her green eyes, but it, I don't know. Check out the recipe. making a lemon cheesecake for the potluck at work tomorrow. Ah, damn, he got away. See, it doesn't look like I could catch these dudes. Or at least for storyline purposes, I think.
Has anybody seen my show?
They're here.
Back off, Bridgeface. You just better be glad I brought you along.
The only reason you brought me along is because Mom made you.
Shut up. Well, I can tell this is going to be fun.
You with me, Control? We're going in.
That wasn't helpful.
Hi. Hi. I was so afraid you decided not to.
Look it up. It says there's a trap access code color, but I don't understand where it is. The guys on Google are ass. Second look at all the colors seems to be working. Doing pretty good so far. Oh fuck, I missed one. What did I miss? I don't see any movement in there.
Girls, this is a beautiful house, Mrs. Gordon. Oh, please, just call me Sheila.
I guess like right there. That leads to the stairs. No, that's the washroom. I'm doing doing better. I've got better. I want to watch what they're saying, but it distracts me too much and I can't capture these assholes. Yeah, some of them are for storyline purposes. It looks like they're there just to distract. This bro gets captured. He's like, fuck that. It seems like whenever I go to this one, I don't always capture them. I guess it's fun enough. Doing way better. Yeah, I don't know who or when. It's almost like impossible to watch what these people are saying and plus get everything.
Music.
Damn, must be starting. There's just too much going on. Oh, I missed that one. I didn't even see the movement. But he gets captured. We're doing way better. I hope you don't have to get like a perfect score.
This is leader. Come in, Collins.
No movement.
Fuck, see that one? That one's like impossible.
Collins, use decoy option and check it out.
You see, like you never get those other guys.
Go around back and cover position 3. I want.
What if it's like a hard... See, look, I want to know what he says, but I can't.
This is Collins. Here goes nothing, Chief.
Just no heroics, huh?
Count on it. I think we should give him the old Jamaican number, huh, Chief? And out.
Gonna shoot those kids?
I mean, you can.
Yeah. Sarah.
Why are they bringing them in there? Some dude thing. Oh, it's the Rambo dude. Oh, fuck, I missed one. See, I was too busy watching this guy and I missed it. Oh, I keep finally seeing that. Oh, we're gonna capture that kid. Oh, there's some shit going on the outside here. Oh, I'm just copy it and shoot this kid again.
It's okay inside, except no sign of Jason. Over.
Okay, back to your position, and fast. We may have to move in soon.
Roger.
I missed them. Fuck. $12.37 must say Lisa. What the fuck's Lisa?
Megan, this isn't gonna work. You're not scaring me. Wait. What are you doing now?
Oh, it's over. Where did she go? She's gone. Wait, we should just have her take on the board. Where did she go? Where did she go? Where the fuck did she go?
Come on, let's get some fresh air. All right.
We got big, big problems.
All right.
Here. No.
What's the matter? You all right?
I guess I was just surprised.
What do you want?
He has a micro
I just wanted
penis.
Is everybody all right?
Oh,
Hey, look, I don't think it's a good
oh,
idea for you to be
something's
hanging
yellow.
around here at night. Why don't you just go home, okay?
Wait, you're in danger.
You seen those things too?
What are they? Well, they're called.
Damn it, man. They didn't even give me any time to get that one. Oh, maybe that's what that little maybe it changes.
Let's go down to the control room. Maybe Tony has seen the Augs.
Gotcha.
I'd feel better if we switched the code again to green. We don't want anyone else to get control.
Okay, green. I'm falling behind though, man. I'm probably gonna fail soon.
I'll be right back.
Nice, it's green. It worked. Cool. This is gay.
Hold it!
You stay out.
There's too much shit going on.
Wow.
Oh yeah, it's still green. Oh, that's cool.
Tell everybody else. Follow me.
What is going on around here?
Just go now.
I don't warn the others.
Okay, you check in there, and I'll check down there.
There's a shitload going on. Yeah.
Kelly, I'm so
Thanks for
confused.
dropping by, Dookie.
What's going on? Oh, just relax, calm.
I'll give you the big one.
This is Kelly. Come in. Over.
There's a lot going on, man. Oh, I missed it. Oh, damn, I lost. Oh, that kid gets killed. He didn't even say anything. He just disconnects me. Damn. Do I gotta start from the beginning? Oh no, okay, we got a checkpoint. Sweet.
Guy is definitely disturbed.
Damn, he's gone. At least we got a checkpoint though. That's good. Good. Good.
Ashley, can I trust you?
Yeah? Why?
I'm working undercover, and you and the other girls might be in terrible danger. Listen, things are getting really weird around here. Keep your eyes open and watch out for the other girls. I'll be right back.
Tony, you scared me.
Ashley, you must.
Tony, I don't understand.
You'd never understand. Just leave now.
Hold it!
Oh, kid shot that back.
Wow.
I think it's green, but I'm just gonna cycle through it just to make sure.
Wait! Don't shoot! It's me! Listen, I don't fool him!
Better warn the others.
Okay, you check.
Ew! Sadie, you're making a mess.
That tastes like blood.
Yeah, right.
Damn it, did I miss one? Oh shit. Oh shit, where is it? I think I gotta help this kid. Oh, I hope I didn't miss my chance.
Yeah, this is great.
Ooh, he just died. He gets away. Ah, damn it.
Yeah, relax. Tell me what's going on.
There's a dead body. There's blood everywhere.
Oh, fuck, the soldier do get dead.
The whole house surrounded. We've taken control of all the traps and surveillance cameras in the house. There's one right there.
Can they help us?
Yes, they can.
Damn it, missed it.
Calm down. Are you with us, Control? Control, you've got to be with us.
What are you doing?
I'm talking to Control. There's a camera right there. synagogue by the back door so we can get out of here.
Kelly, what if they're not there?
We just have to trust that they are, Megan.
I can't stand it! Megan, no!
Oh, that guy turns a vampire there. Fuck, I think I messed up. There we go. Oh, shit. I activated the trap, but I killed her instead.
Megan is dead. And yes, you could have saved her.
He's not as bad as I thought.
You were responsible for her life, and you screwed up. There's a lot going on in this house. Too bad you're not going to be around to see any more of it. Breaking contact.
Shit. Let's try again.
Oh, yeah, he is.
You know, the guy really scares me.
Ashley, can I trust you?
Yeah.
A little weird.
Come on. I'd feel better if we switched the code again to blue. We don't want anyone else to get control.
Probably just kill them.
Entire weekend, and I wind up in the middle of nowhere.
Did you really think that this...
Wait! Don't shoot! It's me! Listen, I don't fool him!
You're one of the others.
Okay, you check in there, and I'll check down there. Be careful.
Foot Clan. This kid right away. Ah, fuck, that's too late. Damn it. I don't have enough time to quickly switch over and check it out. Check up on my cheesecake. Should be fine, but the cat, I gotta just keep an eye on that damn cat.
Let's go down to the control room. Maybe Tony has seen the Augs.
Gotcha.
I'd feel better if we switched the code again to orange. We don't want anyone else to get control.
Listen, things are getting really weird around here. Keep your eyes open and watch out for the other girls. I'll be right back. Hey, let's go.
Hi, please.
Come on, Megan, let's get something to eat.
Ah, dang it, missed one. Fuck, still busy looking at those girls. What?
Did you?
Look at that as food.
Wait, don't shoot! Hanging around that weird Eddie.
Definitely.
Ew!
Eddie, you're making a mess.
That tastes like blood.
Yeah.
Damn, I missed that one. Okay, this is like the one where you can't really do much about it here. So you gotta watch this kid instead.
Yeah, this is great.
These big creatures following us.
Just relax. Come on, come on.
Yeah, it's nice knowing what the code is.
All the traps and surveillance cameras in the house. There's one right there.
Got distracted again. I was trying to get to them. Where'd that one girl go?
There's a camera right there.
Oh, this is where she died and I didn't know what to do.
No, we're not. We still have one. We just have to trust that they are making.
Okay, they go outside. Can't do anything.
Megan, no!
Okay, that's where I died. I don't want to use the
Something's
thing
very
down.
wrong here.
Yes, the Augs are here. I can feel them in the house.
I'm afraid the Augs aren't our biggest problem.
What is it?
I'm not quite sure.
Don't want to use it now because I'll just kill it. I'll forget to get rid of it.
Way to go, Control. I knew you could do it. Tony, this is all insane. What are you talking about?
Ashley, I tried to save him from the Augs, but you
had to interfere, and now you...
This is Swanson. Come in. Over.
I don't understand. This is crazy.
Don't be foolish, Kelly.
Don't like it at all.
All units, code red, I repeat.
Control! How could you let this happen to me?
Oops.
Hey! Hold it!
Cheers. So, you're the troublemaker. Well, I guess you think you're pretty smart, huh? Well, Tony told me all about it, including the override in the hall. So, Tony gets Kelly, I get the controller, and you? No, you get nothing.
Oh, man. So I was behind the sink the whole time. Damn. Do I gotta restart from way back? Yeah, way back here. Look.
Guys, a little bit.
Well, how about you guys?
Oh, no. Why don't you go ahead? Jeff and I have some cleaning up to do first. Let's go down to the control room. Maybe Tony has seen the Augs.
Gotcha.
I'd feel better if we switched the code again to orange. We don't want anyone else to get control.
Orange. I can't remember who shows up here next.
Things are getting really weird around here. Keep your eyes open and watch out for the other girls. I'll be right back.
Tony, you scared me.
Ashley.
Let's try one of these.
Cindy, all you
Think that this stupid little toy could protect you?
Yeah, learning the code makes it a heck of a lot easier.
Wait, don't shoot. It's me. Listen, I don't fool him.
You're one of the others.
Okay, you check in there, and I'll check down there.
You're making a mess.
That tastes like blood.
Yeah.
Stupid little kid.
Yeah, this is great.
Oh, shit, I missed one here.
Hey, what's going on? There's a dead body. Oh, no, come on, you guys. Just relax. Come on, come on.
Oh, there.
All the traps and surveillance cameras in the house. There's one right there. Can they help?
Fuck, I missed that one. Clear memorization. I gotta remember where it is.
talking to Control. There's a camera right there.
Ooh, got this right just in time. Almost. I don't have very much time for those guys.
We're trapped. Buzz, please trap that big hog by the back door so we can get out of here. Kelly, what if they're not there? I can't stand it. Megan, no! Megan, run! You're trapped, Control! Way to go, Control! I knew you could do it!
I'm still missing a shitload though.
Tony, this is all insane!
I tried to warn you, but you wouldn't listen.
Listen to what? What are you talking about?
Ashley, I tried to save him from the Augs, but you had to interfere, and now you will pay.
Tony, I don't understand. This is crazy.
Don't be foolish, Kelly. They wouldn't stand in my way. Would you?
Good job, you son of a bitch.
Oh, thanks, Control. That was cool.
Hold it right there.
Can I even save her? Shot.
Where are the girls?
Let's look upstairs.
Oh, you're back.
Sarah, what is going on?
The Augs are here.
Oh, we suspected as much when they didn't show up for the delivery.
They set us up.
Oh, Victor, they're just hungry.
Where are Jeff and Tony?
They're downstairs in the control room. Someone else has taken control of the cameras and the traps.
Who's that? Nobody move! What?
Oh, fuck, I killed my own dude. Shit, now I gotta do that shit over again. Damn it. I just seen the red mark and I just, oh shit, I gotta press the button. I didn't even think. Okay, I gotta start from here again.
Let's go down to the control room. Maybe Tony has seen the Augs.
Gotcha.
I'd feel better if we switched the code again to red. We don't want anyone else to get control.
Okay, I can't remember what, there's always one here I miss. Which one is it? Okay, that's where he's gonna go shoot.
Augs. We got...
shoot! It's me!
Person I knew and loved long ago, but that could never be.
Okay, looks like I can't do anything about that one anyways. We gotta save the kid though.
Yeah, this is great.
No, can't get anyone there. So.
These big creatures following us!
Fine, you guys, just relax. Come on, come on.
Got him. I knew that he was going to be this earlier.
There's one right there.
Can they help?
Again, this is the story. I can't do it.
Okay, calm down. Control, you've got to be with us.
What are you doing?
I'm talking to Control. There's a camera right there. Use the trap! Right!
Ah, you get two of those guys in a row. I missed it.
Trapped!
Okay, this one.
No, we're not.
Gotta be careful.
We still have. I can't stand it! Megan, no!
I can't stand it.
Megan, run! You're trapped, Control!
Way to go, Control. I knew you could do it.
There's Jim. Okay, I gotta save her soon. But I could save her once they start going up the stairs.
Listen to what? What are you talking about?
Ashley, I tried to save her from the Augs, but you had to interfere, and now you will pay.
Tony, I don't understand. This is crazy.
Don't be foolish, Kelly. They wouldn't stand in my way. Would you?
Stand in my way. So good.
Oh, thanks, Control. That was close.
That was close.
Hey! Hold it!
Let's look upstairs.
Oh, you're back.
Sarah, what is going on?
The Augs are here.
Oh, we suspected as
Gotta
much when
find
they
that
didn't show up
next
for the
point when
delivery.
They set us up.
Oh, Victor, they're just hungry.
Control room. Someone else has taken control of the cameras and the traps.
Who's that?
Hold it! Nobody move!
What is the meaning?
Who are you?
We're SCAT, Special Control Attack Team. You've got some explaining to do.
Well, in that case, then, why don't we all go into the living room and get comfortable?
Inform you now, Mr. Martin. Your house has been under surveillance for some time.
Really?
A number of kids have been disappearing in this area, and most of them have been traced back to the...
I think this is a story one. Hey, the ones on the roof are hard to see.
Oh, Das. What'd you say? I don't like this dude, man.
Poor creatures have just enough blood to survive, but not enough to become vampires.
Poor creatures! Those things are...
Wandering about looking for blood, hoping one day to become a vampire.
Ew!
Vampires? You gotta be jiving me. Let's cuff these freaks and drag them downtown.
Hold it! I don't think you understand, Mr. Martin, but you're in...
No, Lieutenant. I'm afraid it is you who doesn't understand.
Jeffrey, are you all right?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. What's going on? Where's Tony?
Control got him with the stair trap.
It's hard because I get distracted. I just sit there and watch these guys. Oh, fuck, I was supposed to help them, wasn't I?
She's getting away.
I'll get her through the secret passageway.
Jeffrey! My baby!
Don't worry about it. Now, let's go and get that phony.
She went up the stairs.
Oh, Victor.
After you, my dear.
Get her. Get her.
Appelle-toi, ma chérie.
Oh, this is so...
Use the trap!
A closet trap!
But it was going to be a surprise.
Which is going to be a surprise.
Use the traps!
I'm right here, don't worry.
Now!
The wall trap!
Yeah! Only one that can save me. You're all mine now.
Yeah.
Thanks, Control. You just saved my life. And you were very good. You saved all my friends. Trapped most of the Augs.
I'll bet with a little practice you could be perfect.
I just committed genocide on the vampire kind. Damn. 84. There's a lot there that they kind of just show up. Yeah, it's shitty, but I was having a little bit of fun playing it. Night Trap. Theater is now available in the basement. I'm not gonna go for the full 100. So that's what that survivor was.
Green.
Okay, so this was supposed to be good training. I think that's just for practice. Let me check out that theater. Gotta let my cheesecake sit up and cool at room temperature, but I gotta make sure the cat doesn't try to jump up and grab it. I got a complete perfect game to unlock. Shooting. I can't even pick anything. What the hell is the point of that? Unless they actually want me to get 100%. Dangerous Games, 1995 documentary.
Mark? Right on back here. Is this over here at this point? Yep, right there. Okay. Here we go. And action.
I find that so extremely offensive, and the only word you can say to the manufacturers and the shareholders of the company is shame on you. Shame, shame, shame on you.
Mark, hold it right there.
Shame on people that produce that trash. It's child abuse in my judgment.
I don't like it at all.
Mark.
Dangerous Games.
About 2 months ago, I saw the video game Night Trap for the first time. It is a sick, disgusting video game in my judgment.
There's the drill. That's the guy with the drill.
Yeah, that is the guy with the drill.
We mustn't catch him or we don't see the gratuitous violence.
It's an effort to trap and kill women.
For the first month or so, I would see Tom and I would say, there is the evil man that made Night Trap. And he'd say, there is the evil man that made Night Trap. But it was a joke for a while. Then the joke started getting serious until a friend of my family's called me and said, hey, did you know Captain Kangaroo came on TV today and said that Night Trap was a bad game?
The danger arises when the subject of the software is of a violent nature.
And that's where it got very serious for me, because I loved Captain Kangaroo.
Well, I mean, God, it was on the front page of USA Today, it was on the front page of the Washington Post, it was on the front page of the New York Times. It was so new, it was so revolutionary at the time that it first came out that it was ideal fodder for somebody who wanted to use it as a political hand grenade.
Your bullets can't hurt me.
And when we see the new generation of video games, and especially Night Trap and several other examples, in my judgment, they've gone too far.
You're the only one that can save me. My son and I, Tyler, who's 11 now, we went to rent a movie. And the gentleman said to me, he says, hey, you know, Dana, they took your game off the market. And I said, what? Why? He said, well, obviously there's a bunch of controversy behind it. And I said, oh, really? And that's how I heard. It's not violent, you know, in any sense. It's not violent, it's not gory, it's not anything like that at all.
Yeah,
and the object of the game is to save the girls that go in for the slumber party.
Way to go, Control. I knew you could do it.
Our state of mind about creating some horrible, frightening thing.
So, you're the troublemaker.
It was really, how many Augs can we trap in the house?
The guy from the New York Times called me and he said, we hear these terrible things are happening. And that was like one of the first phone calls I got, that these games are really violent and people, you know, are really up in arms about them. And I was saying, have you seen Night Trap?
Oh, they're the Augs, by God.
Evil Augs.
They are evil. You can just tell by the way they're hopping along.
I'm afraid the Oggs aren't our biggest problem.
The horrible sex and violence scene is in the bathroom. Right here, X marks the spot. This is where Elisa gets it. She is in a nightgown, so I guess this is the scantily clad part. And there's, you know, an Og in the shower. I mean, it was funny. You could hear people laughing on the set because it is.
I don't see why it would be titillating. I had on a spaghetti strap nightgown. It was cute. It was peach. I think it had little flowers here.
The whole sort of reason for having that thing that goes around the neck of the kids that get nailed was to make it something that was sort of so phantasaical and something so non-replicable that there wouldn't be any chance that anybody could mistake it for reality.
Ooh, so scary.
A controversial scene.
This is
And
actually the reason why there's ratings on video games now.
We prefer self-regulation to government regulation, but make no mistake about it, we will move ahead if you do not.
The one good thing that came from Night Trap is that it created a rating system for titles.
I flew to Washington to go to these hearings. In the morning of the hearings, they announced to us, they told me, gee, you know, we're really sorry. Thanks so much for coming. We're really sorry, but we decided that there isn't any time to hear your testimony today. And then at some point in the hearings, Dorgan is reading from, he says, yeah, and it's a shame Mr. Zito couldn't be here to defend this horrible filth that this company is putting on. I said, Senator, I am here and I'd be happy to talk about it. You're out of order. Just, you know, be quiet back there.
See, these people are crazy.
That I actually did see TV reports that the object of the game was to kill and rape sexy co-eds.
There was absolutely no sex.
Sex? I mean, unless you're attracted to large, dark objects that go like this, there wasn't any.
Wait.
hey,
Actually,
did you see where she just bumped into? Good Lord. It's gratuitous, the sex.
At the end of the hearings, I walked up to Lieberman and I said to him, Senator, have you ever actually played this game? And he said, I don't have to. This is filth.
And I think that Night Trap was kind of thrown to the wolves as bait. Like, here, have this one.
I want to state that Night Trap will never appear on a Nintendo system.
on Nintendo.
Obviously, it would not pass our guidelines.
You know, when all this TV
That's the
coverage
whole
was
reason
going
why I
on,
bought this game.
I was on a TV show,
On the
and when I
Switch.
needed the Night Trap footage, it was Nintendo. It was
Because
like, oh,
it's part
we'll
of
send it to
history.
you.
Howard, I owe all the sales of Night Trap to you.
Want to sell something to 16-year-old boys? Get it banned by Toys R Us. You know, you can't keep enough of a supply at the warehouse.
I've had some controversy in my life, and I just found it interesting that there was some controversy behind this also. But it's like this dark cloud, you know, that just kind of follows me.
You know, I have this horrible feeling that 20 years from now, somebody's going to call me and say, Jim, we want to do an interview, you know. And I'm going to say, great, you know, is it Wirehead? Is it this new show? And, no, Night Trap, the classic, the great, you know, we want to get the behind the scenes of Night Trap. Now, I've been pulling this stupid binder out, you know, every 5 years going, yeah, well, we had a lot of fun.
Nice boy.
Mark. Rick, will you tell these guys to stop bugging me?
Quality of the video, man. I wonder how much it costs to make this game. Yeah, it tastes like yum.
My name is Jim Riley, and I was co-creator, writer, and director on Night Trap. This is mid-'80s. Nintendo is doing very well with their video games, right? Mario Brothers type stuff. Sega is doing pretty well. I was working with Nolan Bushnell on a series of interactive advertising and interactive retailing campaigns. And I got a call from a guy who was actually my neighbor, Rob Fulop, who had developed Demon Attack and a number of Atari games. And he knew of a guy named Tom Zito working at another Nolan Bushnell company that had actually been presented. There was a guy, an engineer, who came in with this wafer that allowed you to attach it to a VCR and be able to interact with the video cartridge as your video source, but you could interact up to 4 choices at any one time. And they were trying to figure out what to do with it. So Rob knew that I had a background in live action interactive and introduced me to Tom. Tom wanted to put together some demos to take to Hasbro. And they said, so this is a relatively inexpensive addition to a VCR. And if we provide this enhancement, we can actually get into the video game business and allow us to compete. That's significant revenue, and now we're in the living room. We all came up with ideas, and my focus was more about these environments where you could go anywhere at any time, or feel as if you could move more freely. One of the easiest ways to think of that is surveillance cameras. The first demo we did was Scene of the Crime to kind of test out, play test the idea of being able to move around through surveillance cameras and see how interesting that was. So in Scene of the Crime,
do you remember
the basic
seeing that?
idea is that this wealthy man has a safe full of money in his
The attachment
library,
that goes on a
and he
VHS,
has this
you
new
can control
surveillance
it?
system where you, the participant, is the security guy, and he tells you to please watch the safe, and if anybody tries to break in, he wants to know about it.
Watch them with the cameras. If anyone tries anything, I want to know about it.
Then you can move around the house, switching cameras, to try to follow what's going on. Of course, everybody has a plot to steal the money, so you're trying to figure out who's involved, how it happens, and then after a 3 to 5 minute quick period, sure enough, somebody stole the money, the lights were out, it was hard to tell exactly who it was. You couldn't just sit in the room to figure it out. And then he says, okay, who did it? And then you guess. So really simple concept, but 4 of us flew back to Hasbro, pitched it to Stephen Hasenfeld and a boardroom of 22 executives. That day we got funding, significant funding, to start what became Digital Pictures. Then they said, okay, we want to do a title that uses this. And at that point, I was working on a number of other things, but I felt like surveillance cameras is great, but to have more effect on what happens, rather than just an observer looking at what's going on, if we could create some device that allowed participants to feel more engaged and be able to subtly change the story. Again, not branching or changing the ending, but in fact, be able to do something and watch how the story changes. And have to play it multiple times to really understand the subtleties of that. And that was the traps, which could be done even within this very limited environment. What happened, though, was, everybody started to realize, wow, this is tricky stuff. Part of it is that there was never a real formula.
Hasbro decided that it didn't want to move forward, they began, I think, to understand that this is a significant investment. This is like starting a studio. We all went away, 1989, and then in 1992, Tom negotiated a deal with Sega, who had come up with the Sega CD, which was just powerful enough to stream. Back then, it's Donkey Kong, it's Mario Brothers, you know, really simple pixelated graphics. And so all of a sudden, there was this option to play or experience a live-action interactive world that was all photoreal with real people, et cetera. So that I think was the initial excitement. And so when the Sega CD came out, you know, everybody was just hats and horns, and this is fantastic, and look, we can interact with this. And we had a number of really interesting people that were experimenting, is really the best way to say it, with this sort of new platform. Not quite sure what it was. And everything from writers who were, you know, having constructive arguments about interactive narrative, which is very tricky, right? A lot of people will say, we don't want people to look the wrong way or be doing, we want to control their experience, and to give this to novice or non-filmmakers, it goes against everything that they've been trained to do. The other side of that is the game, is a video game. And a video game, a really good video game, is you have full control. You're actually, the world is very believable, full of fascinating characters, and you're motivated to do a number of things to achieve whatever the goal is. But it's a high level of interactivity, right? And that's more important than the believability of your environment, right? So those are the two extremes. Even back then, those were the two extremes. But there was this funny gray area, and nobody quite knew what to make of it. You know, we called it FMV or live action interactive or whatever those things were. We'd bring in a writer, a director, a game designer, a software programmer. There were all these different people sitting around a table speaking completely different languages, having very different sensibilities, trying to find some common ground. The first concept was to take the sort of wealthy guy and, you know, with a safe full of money to the extreme. So it was a billionaire who had, you know, Fort Knox in his house, modern house in Lake Tahoe. He was able to do this with comfort and leave, knowing that he had this next generation security system, which included the latest surveillance cameras and also these traps and gadgets that would allow would allow the 24/7 security team to be able to trap any potential intruders. And so happens one weekend, his daughter shows up for a slumber party with all of her teenage friends, and the house is attacked by ninja burglars. And the reason I thought ninjas would be the cool approach would be that they move in the shadows. You start off with this really simple, clean concept that, you know, could be refined and really have an edge to it and a look and stuff, and you end up with this thing that is a combination of bad notes over time. And somehow it went from ninjas focused on getting the money, you know, and the girls being able to, you know, they were sort of not the key, but they were very much caught in the mix, to vampires. There was this thing called reproducible violence. It's the first time I had heard that term, but it turns out to be a very real thing. And Hasbro in particular was very concerned about that. So we went into kind of the supernatural realm with the vampire. And they said, no, we don't want to see, you know, vampires biting the girls. So these were toothless vampires, and they could not move too quickly. So they actually had to be kind of sick. So they had to be toothless sick vampires. I mean, it just kept getting worse. And the AUG term came because they really needed blood, and the only way they could get it was to auger in with a device like the trocar. That cleared as a non-reproducible violence. I thought that in our effort to homogenize this thing and make it more friendly and less scary, it actually was pretty creepy in terms of these, strange characters walking around with the trocar. In this case, the script writing was so bizarre because you had to do two things. You had to create a world, then you had to navigate within that world. You had technical limits of what you could actually do, but you were cheating that to make it look like you could do anything. So that was a whole thing. And then for the moments, you could write a scene, but the scene had to motivate somebody to go somewhere else. But the script was not 120 pages. The script was like this, right, with a timeline there. And people were going, how do I read this? I mean, it's kind of like, I'm okay, I'm here and what. Because everything was, by the way, time, right? Because you only had that much time for the scene. So blocking was very different. Rather than sitting down with the actors and saying, what's the intent here, and should you walk over here, and where should you? It was like, okay, we got. You have 24 seconds. So how do we block this where you're going to end up going out that door, but it's got to look natural, right? And you got to be out that door in 18 seconds because in 18 seconds you're going to appear in the hallway. I walked around with a timeline. I think it became sort of a joke, which is, where are we now? And I'd have to take the timeline out, and it had 8 tracks, right? 4 at any one time with stills, and I would be able to figure out. So it was tricky. That we shot days and nights, sets and locations. I was surprised at how quickly everybody got into it. Right? It wasn't difficult for them to go, oh, I get it. Okay, so, I'm going to be here, but I could be over there, and then depending on what happens with the AUG here, I might. And they got into it, and in some cases they adjusted their performance accordingly, which was a wonderful surprise. We didn't have a lot of money to cast name talent and that sort of thing. Dana Plato was someone who we were lucky to get.
Well, there's something about Kelly.
Woman's intuition again, huh?
Oh, Victor, you monster. Come on, let's go. We don't want to upset the augers.
All the AUGs were stunt guys with trash bags taped to them. But when the trap went, they had to be in a position where they were balanced, right? Because when they drop through the floor, they've got to be able to do it. How do you move? You do this. So that became the AUG walk. We had to figure out in the shooting how to be most economical. So we generally shot out each environment. The bedroom was one of the first sets we shot, and the lobby or the foyer was one of the last. But most of the continuity, there were so many other issues that continuity like that was the least of anybody's concern.
This guy is really wigged out.
Trying to create an environment where the cast, and to some degree the DP and the lighting guys, really could participate as if they were making a movie. There were other technical restrictions. They were very nervous about things that were too dark. I mean, the way it was originally envisioned was that it was really cool and edgy. And it turned out to be super bright because they were concerned that if it got too dark, that it would pixelate too much. Because the technology was so new and we were right at the edge. What was interesting is we shot Night Trap on 35 millimeter. In fact, Don Burgess was the DP and went on to do Forrest Gump, and not that Night Trap launched his career. I mean, Don Burgess, this brilliant DP, is having to essentially light the room like everything's got neon lights. And we were all, unhappy about that. But at the same time, it's the first time it's being done, right? And there were a lot of people involved, and everybody was making their best guess. The shoot was tricky. We shot days and nights, you know, sets and locations. The post was very tricky. I ended up using, I think it was Ediflex at one pass. It was the only way to cut this, because what you end up with, it's a puzzle, right? So think of it as, you know, a 3D chess game where you're trying to figure out, okay, I got a little piece right there, and I got a piece that ties into that. In spite of all of this, it was a title that became very popular with a lot of people, I think primarily because it was one of the first to have real characters, you know, in a real photoreal world.
Sarah, we're in this huge house with all your friends. We have telephones, we have a car, your parents are gone, and you say so?
Come on, Sarah, what's the first thing you think of?
Party!
We had gone through a 3-year period with Hasbro where we looked at the marketplace, we did a ton of play testing, and I don't think it was ever clearly resolved what this thing was. And in fact, when it was ported over to Sega CD, I felt more concerned. Yes, it was being released, but it was being released on a game platform. And sure enough, you know, everybody was going, well, this isn't really a game. I mean, this is an interesting thing and it's fun. And for a lot of people, they didn't need a heavy interaction. So the live action, real characters was more interesting, at least for a period of time. Night Trap goes out, and still a new market, nobody quite knows what's going on, and I don't think the sales were that great. And then all of a sudden, there's a Senate hearing on violence in video games. And Night Trap is one of the premier, and I'm just thinking, you're kidding. I mean, because by that time, we had homogenized it down to the simplest things. The only thing that was probably the most violent was the trocar in the bathroom scene.
Megan, this isn't gonna work. You're not scaring me. Wait. What are you doing now?
If you saw the Senate hearing, what it looked like is somebody had just edited out the most violent things from different games, including Night Trap, and put it together and showed it to these guys who, of course, most likely never played video games, so they didn't really understand the market. But what they thought is, my 8-year-old kid is being trained to kill people. If you talk to the kid, he'd go, what are you talking about? This is like, not a big deal. So I think what happened is there were selects that were made, including the trocar scene in the bathroom of Night Trap. They said, not only is this violence, not only are you promoting violence to our kids and somehow subconsciously turning them into, violent criminals, but because it's real, it's actually more scary. Up till that time,
I just finished beating this game.
Pixelated graphics.
If you're in the chat.
And when it became real, I think everybody thought,
I'm just
oh
checking
my
out
God,
some of the bonuses.
now this is really bad. I don't
looking at the
think there
documentary
was
right
a
now.
lot of understanding of what was going on in the business. I don't think that Night Trap, in comparison to some of the other games that were out at that time, was that violent. It did have its moments, and when you, just like anything, once you take those things and you put them together, you can make anything look like the worst horror film you've ever seen. But thank God, because two things happened. One is sales of Night Trap just went through the roof, and then they came up with the rating system. The irony is that Night Trap is still on the list of most violent games. And you look at what's out there, I mean, there's no comparison. The shower scene, it's not even a shower scene, but the bathroom scene with the trocar, it looks pretty gruesome when you do the close-up and you see the drill going into the neck, and I get that. At least back then it was, considered to be pretty gruesome. But, for some people, you have to look at the OGS as kind of sad. What's happening now is it's worth bringing back Night Trap and some other things just because there are a lot of people that would love to see it in better resolution, and I don't know where the film is. I mean, fortunately, I made a copy of the original timed masters, and those were, again, timed for this unknown world. So everything's bright, but even then, you're going to see a lot more contrast and a lot more detail than you did through the Sega CD. I'm hoping that the fans of the game will actually have a newer, fresher
Sega CD
experience
version.
with the resolution change. I'm also very interested in people that have never been in this world before and don't think of it as a game and don't think of it as a movie, but think of it as live action interactives. Today, you say interactive, and it's like, yeah, so what? You know, what specifically do you mean? Your computer's interactive, right? So back then, it was people didn't understand when you said interactive. They really didn't know what that meant. Or they'd have very different ideas about what that meant. So in some ways, that part of it, I think is going to be fun.
My life in gaming. I think I'm gonna end it there though. There's some other shit here. A lot of this stuff. Get both endings in the same. Stopping, guys. It is a small, it's a shitty game, but it's an interesting piece of history as well. So thanks for watching. I'll be streaming again. Won't be able to stream this weekend. Not until Monday. For certain, but I might try squeezing something on Saturday night. Maybe some art late night or something. But anyways, let's take it easy. Bye.